Welcome back to Penny Vault, your go-to channel for the rarest, most intriguing, and valuable coins ever struck in American history. If you're a coin lover, collector, or just curious about the hidden treasures that could be in your pocket change, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in United States history, the 1982 Liberty 1-cent coin. A tiny copper disc, yes, but one that carries a massive historical significance, intricate variations, and a story that makes collectors and enthusiasts stop in their tracks. Buckle up, because what looks like an ordinary penny might just be a key to numismatic gold. Let's rewind to the early 1980s. The United States was navigating an economic tightrope. Inflation was a growing concern, and the cost of metals, especially copper, was becoming a serious issue for the U.S. Mint. In fact, by the early 1980s, the cost to produce a penny, which was 95% copper and 5% zinc, was approaching, and sometimes even exceeding, its face value of 1 cent. That means the government was literally losing money to make money. Enter the 1982 Liberty 1-cent coin, a year that would become one of the most unique and complicated in the entire Lincoln cent series, because 1982 was the year everything changed. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a critical switch. For the first part of the year, the Mint continued striking pennies using the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy. But halfway through, in order to reduce costs, they switched to a zinc-based core, 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating that made it look the same, but weigh much less. So now you have two types of coins: copper pennies weighing 3.11 grams, zinc pennies weighing 2.5 grams. But it doesn't stop there. Within those two compositions, there were 7 different varieties minted in 1982: large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D small date zinc, 1982 D large date zinc. Wait, did you catch that? Only 6 of these varieties are officially confirmed by the Mint. The 7th, the 1982 D small date copper, was not supposed to exist. But one was discovered in 2016 and confirmed by PCGS. That single discovery rocked the coin world. Why? Because it shouldn't exist. It's an accidental rarity, and it could be hiding in your collection, your pocket change, or an old jar in the attic. Now here's where things get exciting, and maybe even profitable. To determine what kind of 1982 penny you have, you'll need to check 3 things: date size, small or large, the size of the date numerals changed slightly. You can spot the difference with a good magnifying glass. The 2 in a small date has a more delicate curve and is closer to the 8 mint mark, D for Denver, or no mark for Philadelphia, the D mint mark under the date means it was struck in Denver. No mint mark? That's Philadelphia. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams, zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. You'll need a precise digital scale, preferably one that measures in 0.01 grams. Weigh your 1982 penny, and you might just be holding a copper variety worth more than face value. The 1982 Lincoln cent was massively produced. The total mintage? Over 10 billion coins. Philadelphia struck over 10 billion, Denver minted around 6 billion. It was one of the highest production years in U.S. coinage history. These coins flooded into circulation, and many were hoarded or forgotten. Today, they still turn up in pocket change, which is why it's so critical to check your coins. But here's the kicker: even with so many made, varieties and errors from 1982 are still highly desirable. Especially the rare 1982 D small date copper, of which only a couple have been confirmed. So now you're probably wondering, what's it worth? Well, here's the breakdown. A regular 1982 copper or zinc penny, circulated, is typically worth just face value, 1 cent. However, in uncirculated condition, they can sell for between $0.10 to $1.50, depending on variety and grade. A proof-like or high-grade MS67 specimen of certain varieties can fetch $20 to $100 plus at auction. And then we have the 1982 D small date copper, the holy grail of 1982 pennies. One example sold for over $18,000. That's right, a penny that was once worth just 1 cent sold for more than a brand new car. Now, as for the current market value of a typical 1982 Liberty 1 cent in average circulated condition, it's approximately $0.464. That's nearly half a dollar, and that's 46 times its face value. Not bad for a coin you could find in your change. 1982 wasn't just about variety. There were also several error coins produced that year, and they are worth hunting for. Here are a few to look out for: double die obverse, DDO, strong doubling on Liberty, or the date off center strikes. Some 1982 cents were struck partially off the planchet broad strikes and die cracks. Common but collectible errors wrong planchet errors. A few extremely rare 1982 pennies have been found struck on dime or foreign coin planchets. Error coins from 1982 can command premiums ranging from $50 to over $1,000, depending on severity and visibility. So, what makes the 1982 Liberty 1 cent coin so special? It's a symbol of transition. A snapshot of American economic history. A technical marvel with a dual metal identity. And above all, a treasure hunt in plain sight. From copper to zinc, large dates to small dates, and rare errors hiding in plain view, the 1982 penny is a collector's dream. And here's the best part: you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to get into the hunt. All you need is a handful of pennies, a magnifying glass, a digital scale, and a bit of curiosity, because you never know, your next great discovery could be sitting in your pocket right now. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the 1982 Liberty 1 cent coin. If you learned something new or found this video interesting, hit that like button, subscribe to Penny Vault, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more hidden treasures in the world of coins. Could this humble little coin be hiding something valuable right in your pocket change? What if I told you that the 1975 Liberty 1 cent coin has more history, value, and hidden treasure than you ever imagined? Today, we're diving deep into the story behind this legendary penny minted in Denver, a coin that may just surprise you with its worth and rich background. So hold on tight, collectors and curious minds, because what you're about to discover may change the way you look at every cent you've ever spent. The year was 1975. America was healing from the scars of the Vietnam War, adjusting to the aftershocks of the Watergate scandal, and facing a challenging economic downturn. Inflation was surging, and unemployment was rising, yet, in the quiet halls of the Denver Mint, a small copper coin was struck into history. This coin bore the image of Abraham Lincoln, just as it had since 1909, but on the reverse side, a proud rendering of the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. But the 1975 Lincoln penny wasn't just another copper disc. It was part of a tradition, a symbol of stability in uncertain times, and unknowingly, the start of a mystery for collectors decades later. Let's talk about the technicals. The 1975 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, represented by the small d beneath the date. Over 4.5 billion of these coins were minted in 1975, yes, billions, making it a common sight in change back then. Each coin was made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which means that even its metal melt value holds interest today. Weighing 3.11 grams, these pre-1982 pennies are different from modern-day Lincoln cents, which are mostly zinc with only a copper coating. Why is that important? Because copper has value, and in large enough numbers, these coins become more than just cents. They become investment material. The design of the 1975 Liberty 1 cent coin speaks volumes. The obverse, created by Victor David Brenner, captures the solemn strength of Abraham Lincoln, a tribute that began in 1909 and still endures. But flip it over, and you'll see the work of Frank Gasparo, the Grand Lincoln Memorial in minute detail. Look closely, and you'll even spot the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting between the pillars. It's not just a coin, it's a miniature monument, a reminder of the values Lincoln fought for: unity, equality, freedom. Now let's get down to numbers. What was this coin worth in circulation? Well, for decades, the 1975 D penny has passed from hand to hand, often overlooked, often tossed in jars, and nearly always underestimated. In general circulation today, the 1975 D penny still holds its face value, 1 cent. But to collectors, especially those hunting for uncirculated or mint condition examples, this coin becomes far more interesting. A coin in average circulated condition may be worth 2 to 5 cents due to its copper content alone. But once we talk about coins in brilliant uncirculated (BU) condition, or even MS 65 or higher on the Sheldon grading scale, their value begins to rise. And here's where things get exciting. Some 1975 D Lincoln pennies carry mint errors, and those are a collector's jackpot. From off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, to struck-through grease errors, these mistakes can turn a 1-cent coin into a $10 to $100 plus piece depending on the severity and clarity of the error. So, if you've got a 1975 D penny, take a close look. You might have a rare treasure sitting right under your nose. So, what is a 1975 D Lincoln penny worth today? In average circulated condition, the market has placed its value at around 20 cents, that's 20 times its face value. Now, that might not sound like much, but considering how many people throw these away or never bother to check their change, it becomes a hidden opportunity. In mint state, this coin can be worth $1 to $5 or more depending on grade, I appeal, and any errors it may have. If you're hunting for these coins, here are some quick tips. Check the condition ***, look for scratches, luster, and original shine, look for mint errors ***, anything out of the ordinary might be valuable, store them properly ***, keep them dry and clean in coin flips or holders, get them graded ***, if it looks uncirculated, consider sending it to a professional grading service. Stack up copper pennies ***. Remember, all pre-1982 cents have real copper value. Who knew a penny could be the first step in building your numismatic empire? The 1975 D Liberty 1-cent coin may be small, but it holds a place in America's story. From the copper veins in the earth to the pockets of everyday people, it's more than money. It's a time capsule, a piece of craftsmanship, a legacy of leadership and freedom, and maybe, just maybe, a forgotten treasure hiding in plain sight. Now it's your turn. Check your jars. Dig through that old drawer. You never know, your very own 1975 D Lincoln penny might just be worth more than you think. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history, smash that like button, subscribe to Penny Vault, and hit the bell so you never miss the next hidden gem. Until next time, happy hunting, and may every coin you touch reveal a story. Rare, valuable, and historical in the world of coins. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that most people overlook, but it has a story richer than gold. Yes, I'm talking about the 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin from the United States. A penny that, believe it or not, has collectors buzzing, and one specific piece has even reached a value of 40 cents in the current market. That's a 4,000% increase from its face value. So buckle up, grab your magnifying glasses, and let's explore the fascinating world behind the 1985 Lincoln penny. To understand the magic of the 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin, we need to go back, not just to 1985, but way back to 1909. That was the year the Lincoln cent was first introduced, replacing the Indian head cent and becoming the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, President Abraham Lincoln, on its obverse. The year 1985 marked the 77th year of the Lincoln cent design, which was created by Victor David Brenner, a master engraver whose initials, VDB, can still be found under Lincoln's shoulder on many pennies. But by 1985, the coin had undergone several changes. Notably, in 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the penny from 95% copper and 5% zinc to 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating, due to the rising cost of copper. So, the 1985 penny was part of this new era, zinc core coins that looked like the copper pennies of the past but were fundamentally different in weight, density, and sometimes appearance. Most 1985 pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, unlike their pre-1982 copper siblings which weigh 3.11 grams. Let's talk about design. The obverse, or front, of the 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin features the timeless image of President Lincoln, facing right. Surrounding his portrait, we find the word Liberty on the left and the date 1985 on the right. If your coin was minted in Denver, you'll see a small D mint mark below the date. On the reverse, we have the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Just above the memorial is the phrase, United States of America, and just below it, we see the denomination, 1 cent. And right between the two, in bold capital letters, is the national motto E pluribus unum, which means, out of many, one. Now here's the cool part. If you look closely between the columns of the memorial on some well-struck coins, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside. Talk about micro-detail. In 1985, the U.S. Mint produced the Lincoln cent at two major facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark. Between the two mints, billions of 1985 pennies were struck. To be specific, Philadelphia minted over 5.6 billion, Denver minted over 5.2 billion. That's right, over 10.8 billion pennies flooded into circulation in 1985. So you might be wondering, with so many made, how can this coin be valuable? Well, keep watching, because we're about to get into the rarity, errors, and collector appeal. Now here's where things get spicy. Even though billions were minted, certain errors and conditions make the 1985 penny highly collectible. Some 1985 pennies were struck off-center due to a misalignment in the dies. Depending on how off-center it is, these can fetch between $5 to $50 or more. Double die errors ***. While not as famous as the 1955 double die, some 1985 pennies show minor doubling, especially in the word Liberty or in the date. These coins can be worth $10 to $100, depending on clarity and condition. Copper transitional errors ***. Though most 1985 pennies are zinc-based, there have been a few rare discoveries of 1985 pennies accidentally struck on leftover copper planchets. These are extremely rare, and one sold at auction for over $1,500. Die cracks and cuds ***. Minor die breaks and raised areas, known as cuds, are also sought after by error collectors. These generally sell from $5 to $20, but rare cases go much higher. So even a single tiny anomaly can turn your regular penny into a mini gold mine. In daily transactions, the 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin is still just, well, 1 cent. But here's where things change. In uncirculated or mint state condition, these coins can be worth far more. A 1985 Lincoln cent graded MS-65 read by PCGS can fetch $5 to $10. An MS-67 red, which is a top-tier grade, can sell for $80 to $120 or more. Special errors and rare conditions can go up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and demand, but even circulated coins in great shape, clean, clear, and with sharp details, can command 20 to 40 cents in the collector's market today. That's a 40-fold return on face value for a coin that might be hiding in your change jar. Okay, so how can you spot a potentially valuable 1985 penny? Here's your checklist: mint luster ***, the shinier, the better. Look for original red coloration. No scratches or dents ***, the fewer blemishes, the higher the grade. Check for errors ***. Use a magnifier to look for doubling, off-centering, or cracks. Weigh your coin ***. A copper transitional error will weigh 3.11 grams, not 2.5. Check the mint mark ***. Both Philadelphia and Denver coins have collector value. If your penny passes any of these tests, you might be holding onto something more valuable than you thought. It's easy to ignore the little penny, but as we've seen today, the 1985 Liberty 1-cent coin holds a ton of history, intrigue, and even value for those who know what to look for. So the next time you're digging through your couch cushions or checking your change from the grocery store, keep an eye out for the 1985 penny, especially one in pristine condition or with an unusual error. That humble copper-colored coin might just be your ticket to a small treasure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Penny Vault, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a story about rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable finds. And tell us in the comments, *, have you ever found a rare 1985 penny? *, we'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy hunting. Today, we're diving deep into a seemingly ordinary coin, but one that has a secret legacy and a surprising value in the collector's market. Yes, we're talking about the 2002 Liberty 1-cent coin, also known as the 2002 Lincoln penny. You might think it's just another copper-colored cent. But wait till you hear its story. Grab your magnifying glass, because we're about to uncover the full value, history, and collector worth of the 2002 Lincoln cent, and why it might be worth far more than just 1 cent. To understand the 2002 Liberty 1 cent, we have to step back in time, all the way back to 1909, when the Lincoln cent was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This was the very first time in American history that a real person, not an allegorical figure like Lady Liberty, appeared on a U.S. coin. And that person was none other than the great emancipator himself. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, a renowned sculptor, and it featured Lincoln's right-facing profile on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse, until 1958. In 1959, to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat design with an image of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, crafted by Frank Gasparo. That's the version you'll see on the 2002 coin. The 2002 Liberty 1-cent coin, minted over 2 decades ago, still carries that classic Lincoln Memorial design. On the front, or obverse, you'll see Abraham Lincoln's profile, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 2002. On the back, or reverse, the Grand Lincoln Memorial stands proud, with "United States of America," the iconic phrase "E pluribus unum," and the denomination 1 cent boldly struck beneath it. Now, here's something cool. If you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial with a good magnifier, you can actually spot a tiny statue of Lincoln inside, a feature that many people overlook. The 2002 Lincoln penny was minted at 2 major U.S. mint locations: the Philadelphia Mint, which struck coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint, which used the D mint mark. In total, over 7.9 billion of these pennies were struck in 2002. That's a huge number, which makes the coin seem pretty common, right? Well, here's the twist: not all 2002 pennies are created equal. Some of them have unique die errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and more. And that's where things get exciting for collectors. In general circulation, most 2002 Lincoln pennies are worth 1 cent. That's what they were made for: everyday use in transactions, candy machines, and your change jar. But the true value of this coin comes into play when you consider condition, rarity, and demand. Let's break that down. A heavily circulated 2002 penny may still only be worth 1 cent. A lightly circulated or mint state example could be worth several cents to a few dollars. But rare errors or high-grade specimens, especially those certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, can skyrocket in value. Collectors have paid upwards of $15 to $50 for flawless, red-colored 2002 cents graded MS 67 or higher. And here's the kicker: one rare error coin from 2002 with an off-metal strike sold for over $150 at auction. You may be wondering, is the 2002 penny still in circulation today? Absolutely. Many of these coins are still out there, passing from hand to hand, lying in drawers, forgotten in piggy banks, or stashed in old coin jars. In fact, because of its copper-plated zinc composition, the 2002 penny stands out in today's mix of shinier, newer coins. And get this, as copper prices fluctuate, even the metal value of a 2002 penny can approach or exceed 1 cent. Though melting pennies is illegal in the US still, when you factor in collector interest, error varieties, and high-grade specimens **, the 2002 Liberty 1-cent coin can be worth far more than face value. Now here's the big question everyone wants answered. What is the 2002 Liberty 1-cent coin worth in today's collector market? Well, the average market value for a 2002 penny in good condition is about $0.396, nearly 40 times its face value. That's right. A coin you might have in your couch cushions could be worth almost 40 cents if it's in decent shape and catches the eye of the right collector. For coins with error types, such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or BIE die breaks, prices can reach into the tens or hundreds of dollars. Even more, coins that are uncirculated and graded high, especially in MS-68 red, are often sought after by collectors who want to complete their Lincoln cent registry sets. So how do you know if your 2002 penny is worth more than a cent? Look for mint mark, D for Denver or blank for Philly, check for sharp details and original red color, examine for errors, doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes. Compare it with known grading examples from PCGS and NGC, use a good magnifying glass or loupe to inspect the details, and if you think you have a gem, consider sending it in for professional grading. It might be worth way more than you think. You might be wondering, why even collect a coin that seems so common? It's part of a long-running, iconic American series. It represents over a century of Lincoln legacy on coinage. It's an affordable entry point for beginners and a completion piece for advanced collectors. And best of all, you might already have one in your possession. Every great collection starts somewhere. And the 2002 Lincoln penny could be the coin that leads you down the path of discovery, history, and value. So, next time you get change back at the store, don't just toss it in your pocket. Look closely. That 2002 Liberty 1 cent might be more than just a penny. It could be a piece of American history, and a tiny treasure waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2002 Lincoln penny, smash that like button, subscribe to Penny Vault, and turn on the bell for more rare coin stories. Drop a comment below if you have a 2002 penny, or if you've ever found one worth more than face value. We'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and as always, ***, keep hunting, keep collecting.